Hey guys, so what we're going to be doing for our Organic Instrumental Methods final is instead of you giving an oral presentation to the entire class on Friday, what I'm going to ask you to do is to make a presentation and to just upload that presentation to Moodle. Okay, so there are a couple different ways that you can do this. If you have a document camera, like a separate camera that you can plug into your phone, you can just lay out your NMRs and your IRs on the desk, and you can use this website called Screencast-O-Matic. So you can see it's screencast-o-matic.com. I have a pro account because I make a lot of videos, but you do not have to have a pro account in order to be able to use this website. And so what you can do is you can have your web camera going. So my web camera uses this program called P2V. Right now I don't have a web camera plugged in. If you have a web camera, it probably has a separate program that you can use. So you can have your web camera plugged in and you can put your IRs or your NMRs on the desk, and you can go through with me describing what everything means, and then at the end show me what the structure is and explain how your IR, your NMR, and your mass spec explain the structure that you think you have. So this is one way you can do it, is you can have a web camera. Mine is an IPEVO web camera, and you might have a different one. And then you can just record your screen using this free program Screencast-O-Matic, and you can see the web page here. Then you can save it as a video file. I prefer like an MP4 or an AVI file. Okay, so that's kind of the complicated way to do it. If you want a little bit easier way to do it, you can use PowerPoint. So I've got PowerPoint open here. So what you'll need to do for this, and this is kind of the tricky part, is you need to get your NMR, your IR, your mass spec, all of that into PowerPoint. I guess the lazy man's way to do this is take a picture of it with your cell phone and then import those pictures into PowerPoint. If you want to do a little bit better quality, what you could do is you could ask Teddy to scan the files from our copier, and then it'll scan it as a PDF, and then you can import the figures that way from the PDF. So for instance, let's say I put this image that I have here into my PowerPoint. Now here's how you will use this as a presentation. If you go to slideshow, you can see it has this thing called record slideshow. So if I click on that, it's going to ask me what I want to record, and I want to record the slide and the animation timing. So if you've got any animations in your PowerPoint presentation, it will record that. And then if you have any narrations, that's you talking, I want you to record that as well. Then you're going to say start recording. And this little box is going to pop up, and it shows that I'm recording, and I can talk about this picture. This is my husband, this is me. Of course you'll be talking about your NMR, your mass spec, things like that. And then when you're done recording, you just hit X and it will stop. And you can see this little icon at the bottom that looks like a speaker means that you have successfully recorded. If you want to then go back and listen to it, you can just say play from beginning. And this little box is going to pop up, and you can see you could hear me again saying what I had just said. So after you've recorded narration over each of your slides, then you can do a file, oops, didn't mean to hit that, you can do file, save as, save the PowerPoint file, and then you can upload that to Moodle. Alright, so there's two different ways. You can use Screencast-O-Matic and webcam, you can use PowerPoint, which is probably the easiest way to do it. If none of these ways seem like something that you feel comfortable doing, my husband will be here during the time of our final, so that will be Friday 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and he'll probably be here 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and you can give your presentation in front of him. He will have a camera there and he will record you doing it. So he'll record your presentation with your audio, and then I'll watch that later. So those are the three different things that you can do. So first, you can use a screen capture program like Screencast-O-Matic and a web camera and use that to save a video file and send me the video file. The second thing you could do, which is probably the easiest, is to use PowerPoint and go to slideshow and just record a slideshow, and make sure that you test it before you send it to me so that you know that the audio works on that. I think that's the simplest thing to do. But if none of those things sound like good options, at 1 p.m. on Friday in Osborne 117, my husband will be there and he will record you doing your presentation. And he knows nothing about chemistry. He was an English major, so you don't have to worry. No matter what you say, you're going to sound smart to him. Okay, so let's talk just real briefly about what should be in your presentation. I'm just going to go and create a new slide here. So what should be in your presentation is, first, you should explain your data. So you should show your NMR, explain your NMR. So that's both proton and carbon. You should show your IR, explain your IR. So what functional groups do you have, what functional groups do you not have? And you should show your mass spec and explain your mass spec. And in some cases, for a lot of you, your information that you get from one or another spectra or piece of data isn't going to be very helpful. So for instance, for the mass spec, you may only be able to know what your molecular weight is, and that's all you know. You may not be able to get the number of carbons or get the number of hydrogens. But if you can, you should use that in your when you're describing your data. After you've explained all your data, then you should show me the structure of your compound. And you can just draw this, or if you find a picture of it online, then you can just paste in the picture of the compound. Show the structure of your compound and explain how your data got you to that structure. And there's some people who like to switch the order. Some people like to show the structure first and then show how the data supports that structure. But either way, I expect to see your proton NMR, your carbon NMR, your IR, and your mass spec, and a structure that supports all of that. So you going through telling me everything that you can about those data, including integration, chemical shifts, splitting patterns, functional groups that are there, functional groups that are not there, and whatever data you can get from your mass spec. All right, so if you have any questions about that whatsoever, you can just email me and I will try to answer it. But I think that's the majority of what you need to know.